All right, here we go. I'm making a podcast for the first time in a while, and yeah, I feel like I'm gonna giggle. I got the gigs. All right, here we go. Where's record? Got a hair in my eyeball. Ooh, that's uncomfortable. Out, out. Can you see it? No. Okay. Welcome, everybody. This is Natalie Carlisle, and I'm so happy to be back in the recording studio here at Naughty Shaman HQ, which happens to be my living room tonight here in beautiful Bethany Beach, Delaware. I hope that you have all been well, and I want to thank you for putting up with my summer sabbatical that lasted all the way until right now. And it's inspiring to me to talk about what I want to talk about tonight, which is about choice and about rest. And these are some of the things that I learned on my sabbatical. You know, sabbatical is an ancient tradition that scholars and luminaries have taken, and certainly I'm one of those, right? But I think for us normal people, the idea of a sabbatical can be really amazing and really nourishing. And what I realized is that I was starting to get a little bit burnt out, even in this good world of Naughty Shaman and doing all the beautiful work that we do with the beautiful clients that we have and the wonderful students and the great team. Even in such an abundant world of awesomeness, you can get burnt out. Even too much of a good thing can be too much. And so, just like anybody, I was wrestling with balance and finding the joy in what we're doing again. And so this choice to step away was a difficult one. And it was easy for a little while to feel like I was stuck in the victim role of like having to do things and having to make podcasts and having to keep to the schedule of podcasts. And there was something inside me that was rebelling a little bit to that. And I had to analyze, is this just my rebellious naughty side, or is this something in my soul trying to get my attention? And after wrestling with myself and a couple of good conversations with one of my colleagues, Trish, if you know Trish, she's an amazing, wise woman. I realized, and through her coaching, she helped me realize that I needed a moment. I needed a pause. I needed to hit the pause button and figure out like what was going on inside of me, and that it was in fact my soul, not my naughty rebellious self, that needed a break. It was my soul that needed a break. And as soon as she reminded me that I had a choice, it was like a revelation. I no longer felt like I was stuck in a victim role, getting resentful of the time slots taken up on my calendar or anything just crabby like that. It was a choice that I could make for me to feel empowered, to feel aligned, and to feel like my life was moving in a forward trajectory that felt good. And so if there's ever a time where you feel like your life isn't going in a trajectory that feels good, I want to remind you of the power you have to choose. You have a power inside of you that's an innate freedom. An innate freedom, especially here in the West, we enjoy this luxury of choice. We have so much choice that choice can be overwhelming, and we can suffer from decision fatigue. And then we don't want to make any choices for our life. We want someone else to make the choices for our life. And this is where we get into trouble, my friends. We can get into so much trouble by delegating our life choices. We delegate our life choices to superiors, to our coaches, to people that we put on a pedestal, which is very dangerous to do. We delegate our life choices to our spouses, to our children, and we feel like we don't have any choice, and life is running us ragged. And I want to remind you, because I almost forgot me, and I know better. We all know better, but we all need that reminder that we constantly have choice. We have choice on how to view a situation. We can change our perspective anytime that we like. And that's a powerful choice that we have that makes a huge difference in the world, especially right now. We have the power to choose how we're breathing. Yes, you can choose how to breathe in a moment. You can choose to slow down your breathing and watch what it does to your nervous system. That's incredible. It's an incredible power that we have. We have the ability to choose to stay, to choose to go. We have more choice than we realize. And even when we are decision fatigued, when it comes to the choices for our soul, that's undelegatable. When it comes to the choices of our soul, we cannot delegate those choices to someone who we think would do a better job of choosing for us. When I say that out loud, does that even make sense to you? But can you relate to that idea of wanting someone else to choose for you? Of wanting astrology. I mean, I remember years and years of looking at astrology and like, oh, it's gonna tell me whether or not I should stay in my marriage. I really wanted astrology and the stars and the cosmos to take the brunt of that choice. I wanted to extract myself from the situation and just have it be because the stars were foully aligned or something like that. We don't want to delegate the choices of our soul and our choice to be in more alignment. There's no one who can do that work but us. And when we don't do it, then we run the risk of falling prey to giving our power away, to losing our power, to having someone take it. So preserving our choice is critical. In fact, at Nadi Shaman, the idea of preserving choice is a critical element of our standards of safety and ethics, which I'm really proud of. We've created that as a community because, the world of energy medicine and the world of shamanism certainly is not, it's not regulated. It doesn't have like a yoga alliance to it. There's not a standard of care and a standard of skill that's demanded in our industry. And so it's like the Wild West in a way. It's a new frontier and we're pioneering how to do this in a way. And so for me, when we were creating Dharma School and creating Nadi Shaman, it was really important for us to take that into our own hands and really create standards of safety and ethics that we felt in alignment with in our truthy bits. And number one is to always preserve the student's choice. The student always has a choice to stay or go. The student has a choice to take the risk or not, to listen or not, to stay or not, to participate or not. And those choices are critical because if you feel bullied into a situation or pressured, then any outcome, even if it's magnificent, won't create the same feelings of confidence that you need to be amazing. We all need a healthy sense of self-confidence, a healthy sense of self-esteem, a healthy sense of self-worth. If we are going to go in the world and be of service, we have to take care of this beautiful vessel that we have carrying around our soul, and we have to learn to care for it by making choices that are in alignment for our soul. So I've been reflecting on this power of choice for a long time, and the reminder that we have the ability to choose in almost any situation unless you are truly being abused and stressed. And even there we can find micro choices, perhaps, in those moments of strength and clarity to move ourselves into more safety, to move ourselves into more alignment. But those decisions are not easy. And even when we're not faced with abuse or imprisonment or really extreme situations, the choices of our soul can sometimes be very hard. Our souls sometimes demand a total destruction of what we've known. A total destruction of what we've come to be comforted by and comforted in and comfortable with. Our souls can sometimes demand that we be willing to give up everything we know so that we can break through into a new field of being, into a new way of learning, and into a new life. Because if you're craving a new life, the sabbatical has certainly reminded me that we cannot create a new life clinging to the person that we were, and our beliefs and our way of looking at things. We have to go further. And in order to go further beyond what is known, we have to allow parts of ourselves to die, to shed, to release. And those choices are not easy. After the release, the choices don't get any easier, my friends. I have such good news tonight, right? Aren't you so inspired to go on a soulful journey? But I know if you're listening to this podcast, you're already on a soulful journey and you're out there going, oh my God, what the hell is going on in the world? Maybe you're not. Maybe you have utter clarity right now. And if so, I'm giving you a high five and a big celebration. But I think that for most of us, the choices after letting go of it all and then like emerging in this new way of being, not knowing how to use our hands, not knowing how to talk to people, not knowing how to make decisions again, because our soul is different, can be utterly scary. And so I want to talk a bit about those choices too, just to wrap up for tonight. But the choices that we have after the choice to let it all go, everything we've been, then we have to continue choosing the new way. So if we say, for instance, okay, I can't go forward into my new life talking so badly about myself out loud to people, or even in my head, but certainly out loud. And I have to stop that bad habit that I learned of ultra uber humility, where I just crap on myself and then allow other people to feel uncomfortable around me or to say positive things to boost me up. I want to stop that habit. So then you notice after this choice that habit wants to come back. It wants to come back. It's knocking on the door, and you notice yourself going like, oh my God, I look like shit today. And you catch yourself. You have a choice right then to commit to yourself again, to the new way. And that's how change happens. We have to choose again and again and again. My friends, it is not one soul retrieval. If you would get a soul retrieval from a shaman and you get this brand new data codes inside of your luminous DNA, it will boost your DNA so that the choices you make help make the changes in your life. But it will not work all by itself in the same way. It can open up opportunities, but you have to choose to go through those doors. You have to choose to shut the old doors. Without choice, our souls don't evolve. My dad, I know I've said this a million times on podcasts, but my dad, I think it was my dad, like it's weird, memory is so strange for me these days. If that's happening to you, leave comments. But my memory and years and dates and who said what, it's all a big blur. And because I think time is accelerating so quickly now. But anyway, I digress. My dad always used to say, Natalie, just begin. If you're in I was really feeling overwhelmed and stuck and paralyzed by too many choices. My life was falling apart and I needed to get out of it. And I remember my dad said to me, start with one choice and let go of how it happens from there. Because if you just make one small choice now of where to live, of what to wear, of what to eat, of whatever it is, make one small choice, that's a step forward. And God cannot guide the feet that are not moving. And I always loved that phrase for some reason, because it invites choice. It invites forward motion and invites a decision to go ahead. And so that wisdom has stuck with me from wherever I gained it. I attribute it to my father because it sounds like something that he might say. But spirit cannot move the feet, or cannot guide the feet that are not moving. We have to participate in our own becoming. And we have to choose to participate in it every day, every moment. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Our evolution. And it starts with just a single small choice of maybe listening to this podcast, of maybe making a phone call afterwards to a friend who is wise, talking about what's going on in your life, maybe reconnecting to someone who you've lost touch with. These choices lead us forward. And every little choice we make aligns our life and gives us more energy. When we're aligned, we're tapping into the roots of the universe. And we will have enough energy, enough money, enough love, enough everything to do our dharma. When we continuously make effort and choice to align our lives, then we drop into the flow of our dharma, of the universe, even more, each choice, each small choice. So, my friends, I'm wishing you alignment. This feels so good to be back talking with you. I've missed you. I know that sounds so corny, but it's true. I've missed communicating with you in this way, and I'm so happy to be back. So we're going to be starting a new project, and I could use your help. So I'm going to introduce it here tonight, and you'll see some more about it. But I want to start a little bit of Naughty Shaman TV on YouTube. And I would love to answer real questions that people have about their real life right there on the air. So you can write those questions in, like, my mother-in-law, I want to, punch her in the face every time she comes in because of the things that she says to me like this. And I've tried this and it didn't work. And I've tried that and it didn't work. And I'm going to try all these things. Those are the kind of questions that we're going to tackle, questions about falling out of love with your spouse and how to fall back in love. What about that? How do you know you're ready for divorce? Like all these questions people have been writing in. And I'm going to have guest speakers on, and we're going to talk about it and just brainstorm and share some wisdom from multiple places in the world, whether it's through sound healing, through meditation, through Buddhism, through Taoism, through shamanism, through all the isms you can think of, and then some that aren't even named. We're going to be looking at it through different lenses. So if you have a question or you've got something going on in your life and you think it would be an interesting topic that applies to a lot of people, I would love to hear from you in the comments, or you can just message me. But I want to thank you truly for listening. It means a lot to me and it keeps me inspired, and I really appreciate you. So choose today who you're going to be. Choose today how you treat strangers. Choose today how you treat that colleague that's really hard to get along with. Choose you today. All right, this is Natalie Carlisle signing off from the Naughty Shaman podcast, where we like to keep the sacred a little bit wild. Maybe sometimes a lot wild and totally real. Peace.